And now, broadcasting on Star Worldwide Networks, it's In the Green Room. Green is in, but what does that really mean for you? Join the gang for a fun and energetic half-glass, half-full perspective to what and how sustainability is the lifestyle for the future. It can really affect everything you do, from your health, wallet, environment, money, even your morals. So our goal, to help save the planet one show at a time. Now, welcome to the Green Room.
Welcome, everyone, to In the Green Room. I'm Kinga.
And I'm Chet. I hope everybody's having a great day today. We've got Item 9 Labs back in the Green Room. Welcome back.
Ahoo. Hello, Doc.
It's always fun when they're here.
This is great. Can't wait to extend this conversation on CBD THC, the medical uses, the recreational uses. We had such a fabulous discussion with you the last time you were on the studio.
And the fun uses, Doc.
And the fun uses. And the fun
Thank
uses.
you, thank you. We got to tell them that. And the most important person here, Summer.
Oh, hello.
My favorite musician.
Hi, it's Summer. I am a singer, a songwriter, a creator.
And Michael and Andrew. Michael and Andrew, marketing and product development for Item 9 Labs.
Sales and invention.
Sales and invention.
Who's in the sales? Who's in the inventions? Can we hear out a shout out from Michael and Andrew?
Shout them out. Shout out. Who am I shouting out?
You got to be right on the
Yourself.
Okay,
Talk
yeah,
yourself up.
I'm
Let's
Michael
go.
Willis. I'm sales manager for Item 9 Labs.
What up, Michael?
What up, Andy?
Okay, so you guys launched a huge new product today, Orion, right?
Yeah.
We want to hear all
Yes, we
about
did.
that. Or it was launched yesterday, right?
So for somebody like me that's not, an expert on cannabis, what does Orion, the new product, mean?
Andy, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us all about it?
So I'm Andrew. I am Director of Research and Development. There it is. All right here. Basically, the Orion is our upgraded live resin pen.
And what's resin for somebody that is not a cannabis user? What is resin?
So live resin is when you take a fresh plant and make concentrate out of it, and we then put it in a pod.
So the live resin.
Yep. So basically, you have different variations that go in cartridges and pods. A lot of time, you'll see distillate that's flavored in different strains with botanically derived terpenes that will give it characteristics of that strain. So, like if you're looking for something uppity or something like that, you pick up a Jack Herer, you're going to get those terpenes, and what that's called is the entourage effect, and you'll get that uppity, energetic feeling.
So like a happy feeling. So
Yeah.
almost like you're drinking a glass of champagne or wine.
Yeah, and it's all dependent on the strain that you're going for. Some are indicas that make you tired and sleepy. Some are hybrids that really help with anxiety and kind of balance things out. Live resin is a different form. It is it's basically the purest form of what that plant has to offer. So like when you condense it down, we're taking every terpene, everything that strain has to offer, and putting it into a pod. So this is pretty much just our up. We've been running a pod device for a couple of years now, and it's been our flagship. And this one right here is basically everything that we've seen, heard as far as feedback. We've taken all of that and condensed it into this device.
Okay, so I do want to ask a question.
Sure.
Terpene. What's the definition of a terpene?
Man, you put me on the spot tonight.
Who can tell us that? Anybody, take the mic.
Terpenes are the flavor molecules within the
so
cannabis plant.
terpenes are the
Terpenes.
flavor and smells that when you're smelling something or tasting something, those are the molecules that give it its distinction. So if you smell lemon in a flower, in
So
a
almost
fruit,
like in a wine.
Yeah, so when you smell that, what you're smelling is that terpene. So
Right.
if I smell lemon, it's lemonine, right?
yeah.
Correct. What are some of the other big ones?
You have limonene, you have pinene, and you have theanine, myrcene. So all of these are
Pinene
going
is kind of piney. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that one's kind of
exactly.
easy to
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
though. but-
pinene.
That one's
Exactly.
easy to remember. But
Linalool comes from lavender, so that's going to be a calming one. And each one of these terpenes has an effect. So, like outside of the cannabis world, you would use lavender for calming effects. They use it in soaps, they use it in detergents, they use it in. But these plants generate them naturally.
So it's a calming effect. So we have the Dr. James Neller here. Doc, you have patients that are stressed out. They're on all kinds of like prescription drugs. How do you feel about them being calmed down with cannabis?
I think it's really interesting. it's not FDA approved, so we can't officially recommend it as medical advice, but patients are using a lot of things, and I think it is very interesting. I mean, I look at it this way. There are cannabis receptors in the body. We know this. We talked about the CB1, CB2 receptors. It's like other peptide systems in our body, the serotonin system, the dopamine system, the opioid system, all of which have receptors. This is another one. And what do we do when we find a mechanism? We try to exploit it for the benefit of the patient. So if somebody has a disorder or something that's distressing to them that can be treated to their advantage using this mechanism, I'm super open to it.
Hopefully it becomes federally legal sometime soon, so that way there'll be a lot more testing on it. So
Agreed.
there'll be more.
We need a lot of research.
Yeah.
And it's coming.
Okay, I just hit this Orion Pod, and I think it's the smoothest cartridge I've ever hit. It didn't even feel like I hit anything, but it tasted amazing. So
And the next thing you knew,
knocked
you were
this out of the
coughing.
park.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was like, oh wait, what was that? Came back a little later.
So what does smooth mean? Teach me what smooth means.
So some cartridges, when you hit them, they hit way too hot. It kind of almost burns your throat a little bit. This was not like that at all.
So what
Feels
that,
like it
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No.
felt like it heated to the perfect
so the
temperature.
inventor of their Andrew.
What you're usually feeling with that is it's either a use of not quality botanically derived terps or over terping, or poorly formulated product where it isn't wicking into the cartridge correctly, so you're getting a half burnt hit, half medicine hit. So those are three things that would attribute to that kind of like burny, disgusting throat, which I know very well.
Well, and I want to, if it's okay with you guys, I want to go off script a little bit because I think it's important when
Yes.
we're looking at medicines, right? Which we can all agree that THC and Doc, the feds will get there soon, I promise. But we can all agree that like when we're looking at medicine, the modality or the use of that medicine dictates the effect, right? We talked about it last time with edibles being very different than inhalables. And so with vape, we've won, Item 9 Labs has won a ton of awards in the vape category, kind of in all areas of it. And I think that it's important to talk about why that is, because how that medicine is administered is almost as important as the medicine that you're administering.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so Andrew, would you give us a little bit of your background? Because I think it's one of the reasons why we have a successful cartridge line is because of your experience. So would you share a little bit of that?
Yeah, so I started in the vape industry, maybe like 2010, and back then it was like a lot of stuff was it was makeshift. We were making mods and making devices to smoke and building drippers.
What is a mod? I don't know.
So a mod is a modified battery in any way. So like back then there were these large 18650 batteries that if you touch two coins together you'd blow your leg off if it was in your pocket. So you put them in mods and carry them around all day. It's good. And cool. It was pretty cool. And it's definitely gotten better since then. They figured out how to not do that as much.
Much lower chance of your leg getting blown off with one of these.
Yes,
so.
yeah. There's no 18650 battery in this. This is completely different. But I learned a lot with that. I learned a lot about, which it sounds weird, but like Ohm's law and how resistance works with what you're putting in there, like how the viscosity reacts to Ohm's law, which is, it's weird. But what ends up happening is later on I've been able to apply that to like how I rate the pods to the voltage that's delivered to them, to the formulation that's in the pod to burn perfectly every time. And that's the long and short of it. But it's been a lot of years of like learning and building and doing things and not blowing my leg off, but definitely making some things, on fire or get warm or whatever it may be. But yeah, and it's translated well to this. So I've been able to like...
So Andrew, I have a question. How did you, Andrew Poirier?
Yeah,
Poirier.
there it is. Nailed
you
it.
pour the whiskey. Poirier.
Yeah, there it is.
That's how I remember
Yeah,
his
that's what I'm
name.
talking about.
So Andrew, how did you get into this business? How did you learn how to invent all this?
While we're on the vapes, I want to go over what some of the health benefits are of getting an Orion over combustion, because there's definitely some more health benefits when you don't have the smoke in your lungs versus the vapes are definitely a little bit
and
healthier.
somehow a mic needs to be in front of Doc. Can we put one?
Yep.
Well, we're sharing
There we
too.
go.
Let's hear what Doc thinks
We're being
about it.
efficient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's going?
Oh yeah.
You
So let's just go over some of the health benefits.
Sure.
Of, like one of the Orion pods over smoking flower. I mean, we all love smoking flower.
Right,
Come on.
right.
But this is probably a healthier option.
Right,
because of
yeah.
the lack of combustion.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, you pretty much nailed it. You're eliminating the carcinogens from lighting the material on fire. You're avoiding the butane that you might have to use if you were either A, lighting a joint, or B, dabbing or whatever. You're eliminating some of these, or all of them, that we worry about in health risks, right? Like the smoke.
So I thought dabbing was healthier.
It is. It's definitely healthier, and especially with an e-nail or anything like that. The only reason I refer to that is because sometimes I see people just blasting butane all over stuff and inhaling it, and that's not necessarily the way to do it. There's definitely much healthier ways to do it.
So the products have come a long way rapidly, and you still see, like you're telling us now, a lot of people not using appropriately.
I don't think I think it's, with cannabis, it's really up to you how you want to use it. I think that you're going to use your own discretion on how healthy you want to be or what risks you want to take with it. I still smoke flower, and I use these. These are my two. I go between the pens and flower, and I know the risks with carcinogens and the smoke and stuff, but I still choose to do that because I like the flower. But yes, I think that...
So, Doc, do you know what flower is?
I don't have a clue.
Oh, weed. It's weed. It's weed, man.
Just straight weed that you would burn. So it's not concentrated.
So what the average consumer, so there's a few different categories in your modern cannabis market. Flower is the actual cannabis itself. Okay. So what you would call pot or weed or whatever, that is the actual flower. Then from the flower you can make concentrates, which are concentrated versions, or your vapables, which are traditionally in either a cylindrical 510 threaded cartridge or in a closed, what's it called?
Pod?
Yeah, like a pod system,
Yeah.
like we create.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, and before we go any deeper in the show, let's talk a little bit about the contest that we're going to have, so people can start thinking of some funny names. So we're going to be giving away one of these Orion pods to whoever comes up with the funniest idea for a new strain name.
Hell yeah.
We're going to have people start calling in at 640. What's the number again? I need to look at it.
602-393-0113. Robin, is that right?
Think of something original, funny, and clever, and the winner's going to get one of these Orion pods, and you're going to go to the moon probably. So start thinking of some funny and creative ideas now.
Well, I'm hoping everybody can blow some smoke, Doc's way.
We've been over here. We'll do more of that. We'll do a better job at that.
Because he's never been on before.
I'm already catching
I moved to Phoenix, and it smelled like skunks on like every corner. I thought, where are these skunks from? And then I realized it's cannabis, and that reminded me of what I had smelled in Montreal for years.
We like to think of ourselves as an evolved society here in Phoenix, Doc.
And we're ahead of the curve.
Those are flowers, then, is that right? I'm smelling flowers. So people tell me, go smell the roses or smell the flowers. Okay, I'm doing it.
It's very fragrant in here.
You don't have to go far to find it.
But I know Doc believes in Item 9 Labs because he just invested in it. So,
Hell yeah.
hey, Bryce,
That was a
Scala.
good move, Doc.
Best medicine you can buy, I think. But,
So no, we have Pete. You're very good at it. I don't have a clue. It sounds like a lot of people are not doing it exactly right. So what are usage patterns right now? Who is using CBD? Who's using it right? And where are the market areas to exploit? Since you're a company,
So,
CBD or THC?
Both.
sure.
who wants to take that one?
I think Michael, our
Yeah.
sales manager, should.
So, Michael Willis, we
Yes,
want to hear
hi.
from you.
Hello.
Introduce yourself, please.
Michael Willis, again, Item 9 Labs.
How'd you get started with Item 9 Labs?
You know, one of the other founders and I, we share a barber. We share a barber, and Brigade Barbershop. Brendan, what's up? And I wanted. Yeah, thank you. And I wanted to get out of the industry I was in before this, which was local breweries, craft breweries, and I lucked out and met these guys. So that's how I got started with it. It all started from a barbershop.
now you're helping make medicine instead of, alcohol is a little bit of a poison. A fun one, but this is a much healthier thing to be creating. So.
Sure, yeah.
And he's spreading
Absolutely.
it to the world.
And I spread it to the world.
He spreads it to the world.
So what are some of the health benefits to a full spectrum product versus just a THC only product? Because isn't that one of the aspects of the Orion pods that really sets it apart from other cartridges?
Yeah, absolutely. The nice thing about this, and you guys talked about it earlier with the terpenes, is you're getting all the natural terpenes from the flower. You're getting all the different cannabinoids that the plant has, and there's over 100 cannabinoids inside of it. We really only know a lot about the most common ones, right? THC, CBD, and maybe CBN and CBG, but there's so many more. And so what's nice is that instead of just doing a distillate vape pen that doesn't have any of the other cannabinoids in it and it's just distilled down, think about it like vodka, like that brown distillate cylindrical cartridge. That thing is like a vodka that we add terpenes back into, or like flavoring it, right? And these cartridges, the Apollo and the Orion pods that we have, those are really like your barrel-aged beers. Like those are the most filled with everything you can have into it, packed with flavor, packed with effect, and we squeeze it down into it. One of the most awesome things about this, though, on responsible use is the dosing that we have onto it. So it's got haptic feedback. You hit it for 5 seconds and you get a 6 milligram dose of THC. Typically, the Orions have been coming in testing 95% plus. The Beyond is 99.2 total cannabinoids, which is absurd. That is very strong, incredible. But not something that is going to put you in a bad spot because you have that dosing option with it. One, so you don't overwick the oil and burn it and make it taste bad. And the second, so you actually get a good dosed hit, so you can familiarize with the plant.
I think that's how many hits.
So you get about 166 full 5-second hits with the pod.
And it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like a small hit. It's still a big hit, I would say. Yeah, it got some punch to it.
Yeah, if you want to go 2.5 seconds.
Puff it towards Doc.
We've been working on that, slowly chipping away over here.
So you're trying to exploit this market niche right here in the middle. So what are the usage patterns, and who's using, who's not using, medical versus recreational?
What it seems like recently with recreational passing is that a lot of new people and new customers, because they're not patients anymore, the people we have coming in are customers, and a lot of those new people are coming in and feeling very comfortable with edibles, feeling the smaller doses of things, eating the 5 milligram, the 10 milligram, the 2.5 milligram, and then the vape cartridges are very easy. Flower it's scary to new people. What are you getting with this? What's the strain mean? What does this mean? How are you? What am I going to feel off of this flower? Like, what does Jack Herrera do over Alien Face Off OG? It's a nice thing, again, about the Orions is that you have that effect with the one you're buying. So you've got Orbit, you've got Grounded, and you've got Beyond, and you know that you're getting each thing that we're telling you that we think you're going to get off of it from the entourage effect and the cannabinoids in the flower.
Would you say recreational, medical 50-50 right now?
No, I would say probably 80-20.
There's not enough places yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we see. Arizona as a whole took a different approach to the rolling out of their recreational program or adult use program. Mm-hmm. And whereas in other states, and I think Colorado, most of us remember the news stories for Colorado when there was lines that were around the building for weeks at a time, and there was a shortage of medical cannabis. Arizona took more of a soft opening approach where, we found out on a Tuesday that on Friday it was going to be adult use was going to be allowed at a number of shops. So we, luckily we did know it was.
Is this over 18 or 21?
Over 21. Over 21, if you're under the age of 21 with your doctor's guidance, there are options available to you, but over the age of 21. And so when you do it like that, as opposed to the news saying, hey, on this day you can go buy cannabis at a store if you're over 21, when they say that, everyone gets ready for that day because that's what they're doing, right? It's like a Black Friday.
Creates that shortage, yeah.
Yeah. And so Arizona did a soft opening approach, which, working in this industry was a little bit frustrating. However, it really allowed the market to start to kind of gradually open up. So, we're expecting... I think towards the end, we had about, 250,000 medical card holders in the state of Arizona, and they're expecting about 1.5 million customers when the market matures. But I don't think that they've all come out yet. I don't think that maybe all of them have had an experience that has necessitated cannabis at this point. And so it's allowed the market, although we've got back orders for 2 weeks and, it's incredibly busy. It's not as busy as it would have been. And there would have been a run out, and there would have been a shortage, and there would have been stores that couldn't facilitate. And because we've had some cities here, because really your municipality is your governance, like so you have your, for laws, so people understand. So when we talk about there's no federal laws, What that means is the state has their laws, and then the county does an overlay on top of the state that is either equal to or more restrictive than what the state has imposed. And then on top of the county, the city or the municipality then imposes another set of codes or regulations, and that's the strictest that we have to follow. So that's when we talk about there's no federal regulation. It's an overarching regulation that is typically looser than what we have to do at a city level. And so there are some cities in Arizona that do not allow for adult use with cannabis. And I'm not as versed like currently in which state any of these, like where these cities are. So I believe that Chandler and Gilbert and Scottsdale have imposed some restrictions, but I'm not exactly clear on what they are.
We're going to do a future show with our friend Ryan Hurley.
Yeah.
And he will tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Ryan would be a killer resource for that. But so in those places, those stores don't do adult use. They only do medical sales. So medical patients can shop there. But recreational patient or customers, thank you, Michael, need to go to the places where they can purchase medicine, where it's available to them. And I really encourage you to call before you drive down there, because
Curaleaf is like always around the building.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's recommend a few of the shops where listeners can go and buy the Orion pods.
Curaleaf is definitely one of them, Michael.
Yeah.
Orion pods. So they're not yet, actually.
They're at local joint. I looked at local joints.
We're working on it. Come on, Leah. No, but we did a launch with, I think, 18 locations out of the gate. Some of them were local joints, Mint, I think Jars, and Territory Nirvana. Those guys were the big ones that we sent them out to. And then going this end of this week, we'll go to all Harvest locations next week. So that adds another 13 spots.
That's exciting. A lot of different spots people can go get their Orion
it's really spread out so that you can get it all over the city, from Flagstaff down to Tucson.
All right, so I think we're going to cut to a tune from Summer, because we're so lucky to have her in the house.
We're so excited.
Such a talented vocalist, guitarist,
the most
performer.
talented.
You could go
Incredible.
down the list and keep
Summer.
She kills
Summer
it all.
Lay.
Summer Lee. Come on. You don't know me? Are you kidding? King guy.
I just call you Summer. There's like
It's
Cher,
spelled- okay, I
Madonna,
understand.
and then Summer.
I understand because it's spelled weird, and that's how I market myself.
How do we spell it? L-E-I?
So it is Leigh. So if you're looking for me on social media, it'll be Summer on Instagram with 3 M's, because, all the other Summer usernames were taken. So I had to be creative. And then Lee is my middle name, actually. It is Leigh. And I just spelled those all over the place.
Don't worry. It's more important that you sing.
Oh, yes, of course.
That's all we care
I'm
about.
going to mic my guitar real fast.
There we go.
And my name is Summer Welsh, if you want to look me up anywhere. I've got a song out on Spotify called All Your Crimes. But it's important. It's spelled all and then Y-E-R, like a pirate would say it, like your, and then crimes. Why I did that, I don't know. It's just, it was the creative inspiration. That's what I had to do. This is a song that my band actually is playing, my new band. And it's one of my favorites. I wrote this one, obviously. This summer tastes like boiling lemonade. Strangely love familiar taste. While my heart sat out and dried all day. And I'm born again, and I'm born again. Could it be? It really could have been something from another's dreams. How did I end up inside those scenes? And I'm born again, I'll be born again. Daisies fill up the room. In the sun, I'm alive, but I'm frozen inside. I'll meet you up on the roof, and I don't think I'll be back here soon. In the sun, I'm alive, but I'm frozen inside. I'll meet you up on the roof, and I don't think I'll be back. So I'm just gonna sit in silence. I don't wanna be a bother, but could you hold me when it's dark? Strangers with unknown intentions, like some kind of question I'd hate to know. Could you hold me in your arms? Would you hold me in your arms? Daisies fill up the room. In the sun, I'm alive, but I'm frozen inside. I'll meet you up on the roof, and I don't think I'll be back. Daisies fill up the room. In the sun, I'm alive, but I'm frozen inside. You up on the roof, and I don't think I'll be back here soon. Ready for it? All right. Thank you so much.
Wow, Michael,
Thank you.
Andrea, what do you
I'm gonna
think?
pop these on.
Amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Incredible.
thank you guys.
Amazing, right?
Every time.
Oh, thank
That
you
was
guys
incredible.
so much. Thank you. See, her advertising actually was going to something.
I gotta be honest, I was kind of zoning out on the music. I actually feel more high after the song.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was like, whoa.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That was free.
Speaking of context of use, right?
Yeah, see,
We'll talk
exactly.
about that in
Yep.
biology effects.
Set and setting are very crucial.
Yes.
Yes.
Set and setting.
But thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of that song. I love it a lot.
So I think Bryce from Item 9 Labs, Bryce Gala, is going to hire you to do an event. Right,
I would
Bryce?
love to.
Kyle Jennings.
I mean, if
you're
it has that
listening,
effect, I
Kyle
mean-
Jennings, it's important. Yeah, we definitely need to do. I feel like we're going to be probably releasing the cocktails again here at some point in 21. And when the cocktail line comes, I think we have a couple key partnerships teed
Yeah.
up that I won't talk about yet, but I could see some fun stuff happening.
I've got my band put together, which I'd love to just like say a little bit about them. We've been working, and we have this song, which we have a killer keyboardist. He makes that song chef's kiss, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I would love for the band to be involved in this, and they are really, I can't say enough about them. I'm very, very proud of all of them. Very
How about next
talented
time they're
people.
on Item 9 Labs, that the whole band comes? We'll do a
Think
big
you can
setup.
fit a whole band in here?
Of course we can.
You think the business suites would be happy about that?
Yeah.
Well,
Having drums?
and I'm looking at the guitar case, and I'm sure that we can get this on Facebook Live.
Oh,
But I
yes.
happen to see an
Yes.
Item 9 Lab sticker on there.
There's
you
a
wanna
story behind that.
Well, let's hear it.
Yes, of course. So I was playing the, it was called Days on the Green, right?
That's right.
Yes, it was the Days on the Green festival about 2 years ago, probably now. It was Sublime with Rome, and the Dirty Heads were the headliners. And it was at Fear Farm. Amazing. And they had a giant tent set up. It was this most like beautiful tent you'd ever seen. It was white, and it had all the, you know, the logo and stuff all over it. And it was just like a really cool kind of like bar setup, and it was completely perpendicular to the stage. Like the best view of the stage you could have possibly had. You guys were lucky that day.
Another shout out to Kyle Jennings for
Yeah.
organizing the layout
But,
on that one.
I loved the sticker. I liked the layout of it. So I popped that on my guitar case. It's been there for about 2 years now. So it's nice to meet you guys. I've been
yeah,
repping
me
you
too.
guys apparently.
So, Summer,
for-
do you have any questions for them? And we'd like to hear another song
I
after you have a
have,
question or two.
Yeah, I do have a question. Something that just kind of popped in my mind driving here is, do you think that, you know, now that it's, you know, recreational, do you think the stigma is changing? That's because that's still a thing. Like there's
100%,
still a stigma
100%.
around it. And even with like workplace and stuff, like you could drink alcohol, but if you have to take a drug test for work and marijuana shows up, then you're, you know, in a bad place. So what do you think about like those kind of things? Do you think those kind of ebb and flow with the change, or Have you seen a change?
I mean, yeah, speaking from experience, my mom, Tamara, my mom was always, not on that side with it. She didn't like it. She was excited that I was in the industry, but not excited about what the product was that we were selling. And as it became legal, and over the years of just hammering it into her and teaching her how it's not a negative thing to use, it's amazing. She got on board, and I actually took her to her first dispensary, and we bought her some RSO, some item 9 RSO, and some small edibles, little small dose edibles, so that she could go home and try it, and then also some CBD with CBN to help her with sleep. But she's all about it.
Can we bring
now.
Tamara to the show next
Oh
time?
yeah, Tamara.
Let's bring Tamara and her brewery. What's the beer?
It's That Brewing Company, That Brewery.
Let's drink some beers and bring Tamara.
Hey, hell yeah.
I like that plan.
Well, and I think that, I think it kind of happens with medical, but I always say that like when accepting of cannabis as a natural remedy, what that really does is open eyes to there's a lot of natural remedies out there. And I feel like we're kind of in this phase on the planet where we're like talking about all these other things that like the earth provides.
Yeah.
And I think, it gets hard because we have such an established process for Western medicine. We do, and Doc knows. And it's hard when you get into some of the natural remedies because we don't have the same outlined process. Although we should. I think we can all agree that there should be a more defined process for that. I think there's a lot of plants out there that provide a lot of different solutions in a lot of different ways that can provide healing effects, and we just haven't figured it all out yet. But we always kind of, not really joke, but the reality is that, and this is, unfortunately, it's a stereotype, but it's real. Women do, I think it's like 67% of the shopping for the family. That's a real statistic, right? So the reality is that when cannabis is available at your grocery store, who's going to be buying it? Our female, our female constituents, like that's who's going to be buying it. And I think that, I know at least with me and my wife is definitely more aware of what I'm putting into my body than I am most of the time, and these are the things that I have to put in my body because my wife tells me I can or I should, and God bless her, I'm healthier because of it, but I think looking at that, and so I think you have to be more mindful now of like what's in that, and so I think that the more and more that we legitimize the industry, the more that we provide data. And I think it's the data that people are looking for and the information to know what's in it. It's one of the things that Item 9 Labs, like we've been doing QR codes for a long time now, just because I think it's important. Andy was a huge, when the vape crisis occurred and people were freaking out, I remember a phone call to Andrew, and I called him, and he was like, dude, this was vape industry 5 years ago. It's vitamin E acetate. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's vitamin E
acetate. And so I call him and I'm losing my marbles because I'm like, the world's ending. There's a vape crisis. And he's like, dude, stop. It's vitamin E acetate. We don't use it. We would never use it. Legitimate companies don't use it. This hasn't been a thing in a while for anyone else because it was a trend that happened in vape years prior. But it was like immediately I was like, oh, thank goodness, because he knew. And I think that it's that information getting out there. That's why we had Veronica here.
Yes.
Veronica's our lead educator.
We love Veronica, and she'll be on soon again.
Yeah. So
where did Chet go?
He's right there.
Doing research.
Is he
He's writing
Orioned out?
Yeah. No, but I think that like having that education, like
You've been Orion,
like
Chet.
Summer, to your point, like I think that in lack of information,
Andrew thought it was funny.
we tell ourselves stories, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the more that we can provide like factual information about cannabis, like the more that like it's accepted and the stigma goes away. So like I think that's
Thank you for the answer, because I agree with that.
Yeah, and so I
because
think
people don't know. Remind people, because this is people that didn't listen to the last show need to hear why you had a health issue that brought you to cannabis.
Well, cannabis is a viable treatment for medical issues that necessitate it, and it should be used by adults and consulted with the doctor.
Over 21.
Yeah.
21
all those
and over.
things. Like I've stopped using psych medications as a result of that for like mood stabilization.
Agreed, me too.
Yeah, Andrew as well. Like there's a legitimate. And we still need more factual information. And until it's rescheduled, we can't do tests that are considered clinical trials, and all that. So
I know one fact. take edibles slowly. Anybody who's thinking about edibles, just take it slow.
Yeah, listen to our last show.
Very
if
slow.
If you're thinking that a brownie is a better alternative than a vape cartridge.
Well, maybe a
please.
bite of a
Very slow.
brownie, but like slow.
But
That's all.
on this topic of barriers to entry to the market, what is stopping people?
Doc, you crack us up. Puff it towards him.
We have been. He doesn't seem affected by it. I don't know. It's not working on Doc.
He's superhuman.
I like it this contact.
Puff it in his ears and his nose.
The next one's going straight in Doc's ear. Don't worry.
We did, when I was in
dare
Washington
you.
State, we did this rural clinic. We were doing cardiology patients in a clinic, and across the cow field was this new CBD store with this CBD THC, the sign would revolve. We knew they were doing $2 million of cash business a month in that building.
Right.
And we're like, we are on the wrong side of the paddock here, I mean, it's crazy what's out there when the market gets heated up.
It is, with quick money comes quick loss. That's the other thing with it. I think it's the hard thing. It's a tumultuous industry. And it comes with it. But I think,
So why has Item 9 Labs been so successful?
because there's people that are way smarter than I am that work there.
I hope you get to effect-based product descriptions.
Andrew Michael.
Yeah.
Michael Willis.
Well,
Andrew Poirier.
And so here's what I was thinking.
Poirier.
Maybe
You're good at that.
do. I was thinking maybe we could do another song with Summer because I think
Yes,
it's
thank you.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's joining the show permanently. Summer needs to sing right now.
Well,
Thank
but
you.
so I was thinking then
Summer,
at
let's go.
6:40 we'll start the contest, and then we
Yes.
can kind of get into all the products and stuff while we're doing the contest, and that's when we'll get the email going.
Hell yeah.
I think I want Bryce Scala from Item 9 Labs here more than once a month. Here we go. Summer,
Ooh, hi. All right.
what are we going to hear?
Another original song. This one I wrote very recently, actually, and it's a little softer. I put the sad, slow one in the middle. That way I can bring it back at the end. But I don't have a name for it. Naming songs is not my thing. So if anybody has any names for this song, once again, send them in. Keep them rolling. Let me take these headphones off. Let my hair go free. Don't leave now. I've built a world beside you. If you say the word, I'll take care of you. And to dream of a little room painted blue, where we'd sit and watch the world turn beneath our house. Walk around scenes which I've only ever dreamed about. I've got the image, I can't stop myself thinking about our little house. Just ask me now, what time we leaving? I don't care right now. Whenever you're ready, I'm going. Saturday nights we can keep it inside, dance on our own in soft light. Oh my love is heaven as pretty as this, and it's ours. We can't go on without it, but for now it seems we'll play make-believe. Ooh, laugh and laugh, crying because I just want this to last. Don't go home so soon, my darling. I've been thinking about our house, and you of all the finest things. Oh, take everything. Saturday nights we can keep it inside, dance on our own in soft light. Oh, my love is heaven as pretty as this. Darling, could you come and lay here by my side, just like you did yesterday? And could you do the same tomorrow and every day? Saturday nights we can keep inside, dance on our own in the soft light. Oh, my love is heaven as pretty as this. Oh, Saturday nights we can keep inside, dance on our own in the soft light. Oh, my love is heaven as pretty as this. Thank you.
Wow. So beautiful.
Her voice is like an
Right?
angel.
Thank you.
Angelic,
It's
absolutely.
insane.
See?
Thank
Do you guys
you.
understand?
I do now.
I really appreciate
So every
that.
show you guys are on, she'll be here.
Perfect.
See?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I like that. I'm into it.
Thank
I
you
like
so
it.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a creator. We create. Into it. Aligned missions. All right, Chet. Email. What's up, birthday boy? Come on.
doing, dude?
Birthday boy, come back over here. Summer, thank you so much. We love you. Thank you so much for being here. You can still stay right here. We want you here. So, Chet, what's going on?
So I have an original song I'm about to play in just a minute too. But first, let's get the email heated up.
So
Let's
do we have a
try a
caller
little bit of
that is
this.
going to...
There's a caller on the line.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk to our first contestant then.
I have no idea. Hold on. There you go. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I don't have any head.
Hello.
Hey, I tried to make it in today, but I just got off work not too long ago. I miss you guys.
Who are we speaking with?
It's Rachel.
Rachel. Oh, okay.
Hi, Rachel. It's Bryce with Item 9. Your mom's made me send you a bunch of
Bryce.
awkward texts. It's really nice to hear your voice finally.
I so wanted to make it in today, but I got some good news from work today. I did get a little raise from my hard work, so I did stay in a little bit late, but
Well,
Well,
maybe.
wait, we're celebrating after the show for Chet's birthday. Are you coming to join us?
maybe I might be able to make it. I didn't know you guys were doing anything.
Absolutely. Of course we are. And Chet got some birthday presents from Item 9 Labs.
Ew.
Yeah, and if you have a good idea for a strain name, you might be winning an Orion Pod yourself.
Maybe, although you didn't show up.
What?
Yeah, let's hear.
You have to show up tonight for the after party for Chet's birthday. But what is your idea?
What
Oh
is
my
your funny,
gosh.
clever idea name for a
I
strain?
have to have a crazy name for a new strain. Okay, let me think about this for a second. It has to be something, maybe not rated R.
I mean,
It's okay. Rated R is okay.
yeah, you have to be 21 to buy
We're
it
all,
anyway.
we're all
so.
over 18
Oh,
here.
true.
Yeah, I
True,
mean-
true.
Doc,
Well, the
blow
first
some
thing
smoke
that
towards Doc. Hey,
He
hey,
looks
that
pretty
comes to
happy,
mind-
okay?
Doc is impervious to the smoke. I've tried everything now.
please.
Tried everything.
Hey, Michael and Andrews, blow some smoke in his face and his nose.
We did, right up it.
He's been smiling the whole show.
Okay, first thing comes to mind.
He's been smiling.
Yeah, what makes you think I'm not high right now?
He's Canadian. It's because he's super sweet. That's what see?
This is my Ross Ribliano story. The first time snowboarding was offered as an Olympic event, it was won by a British Columbian named Ross Ribliano. And after the event, after he had his gold medal, they tested him and found trace cannabis in his blood. And he said, look, the pod is so incredibly strong, I must have walked by a party and some wind blew outside and I
Sounds
inhaled
like
it.
you're right.
I mean, he said this was strong stuff.
He must have hung out with Michael Phelps.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I've used that excuse too.
You probably had a little pregame.
Yeah, see?
You're not going to hang out with Michael Phelps and not hit the bong. I mean, come on.
So as Canadians, we can win Olympic sports with cannabis in our systems.
See? Well, I mean, it's not like, I mean, I think we talked about it one time when we were meeting. If I have to fight one person and I got 2 to choose from, and one of them is really stoned, and the other one is not, I can tell you which one I'm going to choose, right? So, like, if that dude wants to be like a swimmer or a boxer or whatever, let that dude do that. Because his opponent's like, for sure, bro, let the stoner do that. I'm down.
Well, we'll help them with recovery if they aren't high during the competition. But
MLB and then the NBA got it. We're waiting for the NFL
That's
and MMA
right.
to catch up, right?
That's right.
okay, so
Yeah.
Rachel,
They're a
what
little
is
slow.
your
They're
idea?
still on the-
So, Rachel, do you want to win this contest? If you're going to be part of the contest, you also have to show up for the after party for
Don't
Ted's
tell her
birthday.
that. That's not part of the contest.
Bryce said. Bryce
Okay.
said.
Just what is your strain name idea? Because we'll
I'm
probably have
trying
some
to
more
think
callers.
Of a cool one. Does this one already exist? Cosmic Kush. I don't want to take one of my friends' ideas. So my friends have had some crazy ideas.
I haven't heard of that before. That's pretty cool.
But Cosmic Kush, I feel like.
Let me check
feel like
Google.
it's
I'll
Cosmic
check
Kush?
Leafly. I'll check Leafly. Yeah.
Cosmic Kush.
I feel like it would be out of this world.
So Rachel's on the phone here because
She's
on
got a
Facebook Live they
tagline
can't hear
with
what
it.
Rachel
there
Johns
wasn't
is
a
saying.
tagline. It's out of this world.
Rachel's saying Cosmic Kush.
Out of this world ass shit.
Rachel, it exists. I'm sorry.
Okay, come up with another name.
Okay,
What's
let me-
number
hold on, I'll think of
two?
another name.
What do we got? Number 2.
Hold on. Give me a sec.
It doesn't have a phenotype profile on Leafly yet, though. I mean, okay, there is. It does exist.
It does exist.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff.
So
you
Rachel,
can't
you're
find on
talking to
Leafly.
Michael Poirier.
All right, you're gonna have to think.
He likes to pour the whiskey.
You're gonna have to think
Poirier.
farther outside of the box.
Mikey
You're gonna have to
P.
Michael.
go.
That's where I'm thinking. I'm trying to go to another galaxy.
We're
I'm
just
trying
gonna
to
stay
think
with
of
Rachel. We'll just stay with Rachel.
other-
So Rachel, come up with another name.
hold on. I'm close. I'm close to one. I can feel it.
The punk.
Well, while you think about it, we'll talk about something else, and then just all of a sudden shout out to what we're talking about.
yeah. What is
just
this
threw out a
live
good one.
resin that we have here
No,
that we're
thi-
about to try on the e-nail?
This is ambrosia, and I feel like Michael gave such a good description of everything else.
Yeah,
Michael,
he's good at
would you
that.
please sell us ambrosia?
Wait, is this strain I'm naming an indica or sativa or hybrid? That helps.
you get to pick.
No, you get to pick. What do you want? You want?
Oh, it's like a totally unknown one?
Yes.
You just invented it right
Yeah.
now in your closet. You've been
Okay,
growing this
okay.
plant.
Yeah,
for
and if it's clever enough,
I've
they
been
might
growing
use
the
it to
plant.
name one of their new strains. Come on.
Okay, I've been growing the plant. Well, I would grow a sativa hybrid for sure because I'm more of a sativa person. So now that I've got this context, all right, keep talking. I'll keep deciding.
Okay, wait, yeah, let's go back to the
Okay, so-
ambrosia.
Okay, so Michael, sell us ambrosia again.
Ambrosia is nice. So it's you really like it. No, what it is it's actually live resin. So all of the concentrate that we'll concentrate because we make ambrosia that we make.
Wait, Doc, do you know what ambrosia is? What are they talking
He's
about?
telling us what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's why he's telling us.
It's
Did you hit the Orion?
That's more generic. The meaning of that word, right?
What it is though is it really is. We end up taking live resin flour, so it's fresh frozen. I'm sorry. So we take the fresh frozen and what that means is that the plant is cut down and not cured, and it's immediately thrown into a freezer, a cryo, and it preserves the plant from, I guess from starting to decarboxylate or cure, and all those cannabinoids change over. So when we blast it and make ambrosia, what we're doing is we're taking live resin and we're hand whipping THCA diamonds. So you've got all the terpene profiles, you've got the THCA in it, and you've got this nice consistency that's easily dabbable.
It tastes delicious. Yeah.
It's a mix of really juicy terps that you can almost watch move as you turn the jar, and chunks of THCA. So it's like mid separation from separating terps from THC, if that makes sense.
Doc, will you take a puff?
This is the one to do. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Well, what I want to hear about is effect-based product description, so I can read and anticipate what's probably going to happen to me.
Yeah, so
Well, for
Doc wants a trip report,
well,
dude.
first off, that was I did a media training last week, and you would have gotten an A in that media training because that was a really good transition, Doc. But so no, what one of the trends that we see in a lot of mature markets when people are coming in, some people, I think you heard Chet say Leafly. There's a couple of sites that try to like catalog strains so that people can see what the effects are. Leafly and Weed Maps would probably be the two biggest. Leafly about a year ago made a decision, and I agree with it, although it's definitely been a rough transition. The ambrosia
Bit off more than he could chew. That's why
Even the pros, right?
It's super effective.
Man
That's what
down.
I always say.
We're good.
That's why for somebody who's a beginner like Doc, I would definitely start with hitting something like the Orion carts because they're a little bit more dosed out.
Yeah, and so what we found is, so when you're
We might have
looking
to
at a
wait
strain,
next show.
If you're looking at a strain, there's a lot of different characteristics. Indica, sativa, and hybrid would be your most direct kind of categories. Sativas are more uplifting. Indica are more sedative, or indicouch is how a lot of people remember it. Hybrids and in between of the two. And so with the effects-based labeling, like with our Orion, we have grounded, which would be your more kind of sedative, and then we have orbit, which is going to be your hybrid or your in between, and then beyond, which is going to be your sativa. We did that because there's a lot of new people coming into the market with recreational or adult use. You have a lot of people coming in that have never used, or maybe not never, but in a very long time. And so as opposed to them having to go online to do a lot of deep research as to what this is, we wanted to make it easier for them and more accessible. And so we did that through just labeling them as effect-based. So you either know it's up, down, or in between, and it makes it real easy to make the decision of what you're looking for.
And they are delicious.
So Rachel has
I
a
must
name now.
confirm.
Rachel's there.
I doubt this name exists. It's pretty outrageous, but I think it's a good up name.
What is it?
Stratospheric satiation, or satiate. I can't say satiation.
Okay, I don't think that exists.
Spell that for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Stratospheric
I can
satiated.
spell it, but it's hard for me to pronounce. Yeah, like you're satiated or something.
Oh, I like that.
That's awesome.
Stratospheric sativa. Wait, stratospheric sativa.
We're gonna walk out and be like, yeah,
No,
that
like-
name was
well,
what?
it's a
Starboard. Starboard.
Satiation.
Okay, say it one more time.
Stratospheric
like
satiation.
when your thirst is sated, like satiate. I can't say it.
We know it.
Satiated.
Satiated. Stratospheric.
Yeah.
Satiated.
Should you say stratospherically satiated? Does that sound good?
That works.
No.
Whatever sounds the best with those.
I love it. Let's do it. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I'm in.
Andrew?
Can you say that 5 times fast for us, Michael?
Yeah, it's kind of a tongue
can't say it
twister,
one
but I
time
like it.
slow.
Satiation.
I can enter the
Stratospheric satiation.
I think that name is great. It's
Yes.
going to be
Okay,
really
okay.
tough to fit on a strain label. But
Andrew just did a
we can
thumbs
figure it
up.
out.
Andrew, he just said it's it. You won. You're done.
Do we have any more call-ins or no?
No, he hung up.
Oh, okay.
His mom said stick with Rachel.
We had
Yeah,
another
yeah.
call-in, but they hung up, I guess.
So that's good because we'll have time
Oh,
to end
sorry.
with.
I was.
So,
I wanted to listen in. I was like chatting for too long. Sorry.
no, it's perfect. It's perfect. So we're going to be celebrating Chet's birthday. Everybody, thank you so much. We only have 1 more minute left, and I do want to end with Chet's song if we can do that.
Well, if we only have 1 minute left, we're not going to be able to hear the whole thing. It's a 5-minute song. So I'll play it next show. So,
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we got to get the whole thing in there. The show was amazing. It was a lot of fun, so we didn't have enough time to get it in there. And we had a live performance from Summer, so you can't really beat that.
Summer was awesome. You'll definitely see her at an Item 9 event in the future. The Orion Pod System launching this week in Phoenix, Arizona, coming to markets, Colorado, Nevada here in the near future. And it is available at what stores locally, Michael Willis?
You can get it at Local Joint, both Mint locations, I believe Nirvana and Territory, and it's going to be out in Harvest it'll get delivered this week and propagated out to the stores next week.
I highly recommend it. Rips like a champ.
So thank you all so much, and we're so
Thank
excited
you.
to have you back on. This has been such a great show, saving the planet
One
show at a time.
At a time.
Thank you for listening to In the Green Room. Join us here live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. or anytime on demand 24/7 on StarWorldWideNetworks.com.